Hey everyone, we are in Turkey. We just spent the past few days at our cousin's vacation home. We had so much fun hanging out with everyone and going swimming every day and just relaxing. And now I am at my other cousin's place in the city. And this is our first day that we're gonna go exploring by ourselves. So we're gonna go down to a local park. We'll take you along with us. You ready to go to the park? He's like, no, I'm busy watching my show. Totally what I'm doing, but if you go on Google and you hit the picture button and translate, it like changes it all to English, but it's still a little bit different, so we'll see. Say hi, Mars. Hi. I just took forever ordering stuff on an app, but I think I have successfully ordered snacks, and now I'm trying to download the app to order actual food because I am so tired. Okay, that was super fast. Let's get everything out. He is cranky. I got all of these different drinks because I'm really thirsty since it's hot. I wanted to try this Dubai Magnum chocolate, and then I got these other chocolates here and some bread for morning for breakfast. So that's my little snack haul. I am so nervous because we are down to the last of these, and this is literally all he's been eating. He's so picky, but he's gonna have to eat something because our snacks are definitely running low, and we're still here for like another week. All right, we're gonna try this one. He wants it. He already was throwing his food because he knows what it is. Okay. Yummy? Let's try. Good. OMG, when I tell you, it has been like 2 hours trying to use the app to order food. So first, you have to have a Turkish phone number. So I had to like rent a Turkish phone number and go through all these hoops because only one of my cards would work, and then like turning off my VPN and trying to figure out all these things. So I finally get the Turkish number. I'm like, okay, good. I'm home free. Get in, put it in, get all my order together, and then I try to check out. It doesn't accept foreign credit cards. So then I'm back on ChatGPT, like, okay, what do they accept? So then I find this, I don't know how to explain it, you load money onto it type of card thing. So it's like getting a virtual credit card that works in Turkey. So then I'm trying to do that. And again, like my cards aren't working. And then finally I get one to work, they think it's fraud. 2 hours later, 2 diaper changes later, he's upset, I'm upset. I think we've actually ordered food. Our food that took 2 hours for me to figure out. See, this is his like pizza thing. Salad, some baklava because of course we need it. And then some chicken kebab. So we are going to eat. We will check in with y'all later. I feel like these mosquitoes are on some type of revenge mission. I don't know what I ever did to them, but they're eating me alive. Like, I don't know, you can see that one. They're like all over and it's so itchy. I'm really glad that I brought his pack and play with the netting tent because that way I can make sure there's no mosquitoes in it and he's good at night, and then I just get bitten. I have some sort of a cold or something. I've been taking like Dayquil, Tylenol, or no, Advil. I don't know if it's just from like adjusting or going all over the place. It takes me a while to feel kind of like up for doing anything, trying to like be able to breathe and stuff. I'm using all my allergy medicine, but we are gonna try to go to this little donut shop, and if I'm brave, we might get on the ferry and try to go over to the touristy area. It's definitely difficult with strollers here because there's like cobblestone and inconsistencies, and there's not a lot of curb cuts. A lot of graffiti. I'm not sure what it means. Wash your hands. Donut? So you don't want a donut. You want to eat turkey. Okay. Mommy's gonna eat the donut. We are on our way to the ferry. go over to the European side. I am already so exhausted. We've done a ton of shopping, but we're gonna try to get on this ferry and go see what we can see. Somebody has fallen asleep. We are on the ferry. These little kids tried to hustle me. I think as soon as they saw that I clicked English, this kid like pops out from behind where you purchase your ferry card, and then he's acting like he's helping me, and then when I go to add the money, he tries to like have his little sister or somebody block it, like where you tap your card on and be like, oh, it's not working. And I immediately realized they were trying to block me from tapping my card so they could tap their card. So I like reached around her and tapped my card, and they're all like, no, no, and trying to like push me to the other one. A nice try, kids. I mean, seriously, I would have helped you if you really needed it, but okay, so that was my first and only like almost getting hustled by children. I guess the area I'm in is probably more touristy because people are coming over from the European side to the Asian side, which is where I'm at, on the ferries. So definitely a totally different vibe than when you're in the neighborhood with, you know, like locals and stuff. We've been having a ton of fun meeting different people in all the shops, like, you know, getting jewelry, sharing about like the jewelry that I make. I'll show y'all what I got when I get home. Of course, I totally forgot to insert footage of this when I got back that day because I was so tired. But these are some of the beautiful pieces that I got. As soon as we got off the ferry, we saw a corn vendor, which you will see everywhere. We saw this really cool restaurant, and we ended up going back later that evening so that we could have a little immersive experience. He drank his drink and my drink and then decided he was ready to go home. So we ended up leaving shortly after that. It was a bit of a trek, but we made it to the Hagia Sophia. We also ended up buying a ticket for the museum experience, which I do not recommend, especially with a little kid. Kids actually aren't allowed, but kids you're holding, they will allow in, but no strollers. So I ended up killing my shoulder, waiting in line forever, and then having to hold him through this whole audio-visual experience. So yeah, I would say skip the audio-visual experience. We were finally able to go head back up to the mosque, which is not a short walk, but it's beautiful. I accidentally went in the prayer side, not the visiting side. So now we're going to the visiting side. The mosque is stunning. However, strollers are not allowed. You literally have to carry the stroller folded up through the whole entire thing. There was a really nice woman that took pity on me and let me set it by a door. This stunning spice candy tea shop was gorgeous. I had to stop on our way back to the ferry. The gentleman that worked there gave us some Turkish delight and pomegranate tea. It was so, so, so good. I ended up buying some pomegranate tea. One of the things I loved the most about Turkey was you could literally be walking down a busy street and look through a little tunnel and walk through it and be in the most magical wonderland park you have ever seen in your life. I was like, did I just step into a movie? The pastry shops, food art to the max. They are everywhere. And while we didn't really end up trying anything, they definitely made my mouth water. I got a little lost on the way home. The streets are incredibly busy, but we made it just before my battery died. The next day, we hopped back on the ferry to go over to one of my favorite shops, Turkish Modern. I buy tons of shoes, rugs, all sorts of things from there. So I wanted to actually go in person. It was another nice little hike, but again, gorgeous. Even though it was hot, we tried to stay hydrated and find little spots to cool off. We finally made it, and it did not disappoint. I didn't end up getting anything because it is quite pricey, even when you convert it to USD, but it was a really lovely experience. And just down the street, I ended up finding a tiny shop where I got some gorgeous jewelry and a robe. Then it was off to the ferry again. When we finally arrived, I decided to get us some bubble tea because we were so hot and tired. Mine was disgusting. I picked the wrong flavor, but thankfully his was pretty good. But I had no idea what was about to happen. The one place I did not think I would be vlogging from is a hospital. Unfortunately, last night, my son was like kind of lethargic and hot, and I gave him Tylenol, and then he was just woke up a while later drenched and just like burning up. I had the AC on, stripped him down, you know, and the Tylenol by the morning, and by morning I mean like 5. I kept checking him and laying next to him, and I was just like, it's not going down. So I found a good international
hospital, and my cousin helped me like get an Uber here because for some reason the app wouldn't accept my payments. I was trying all this stuff, and so grateful she was able to do that, and we got in here and they've been running tests. He is asleep now, and they think it's a virus, and his fever came down with the fluids, but getting an IV in on an almost 2-year-old was probably the most horrific thing I've ever experienced, because he was fighting so hard and crying and screaming, and then it felt like he passed out. He kind of just like stopped in his eyes, but they kept checking his vitals and said he was okay. But any parents out there that have gone through that, you know, it's the worst feeling in the world to be like holding your child down trying to get an IV in. So they have wonderful translators. We do have the air med policy that I talked about before, and he has been admitted, so technically I could like start to initiate that and they would decide. But in all honesty, I think this hospital is probably better than where we would end up going back home. I think we're gonna wait it out since his fever is coming down with the fluids. I've had kind of like a cough, which was hard to tell because there's a lot of smoke around here. You know, cats, different things that I was like, okay, is it allergies, is it a cough, is it cold, what is it? I didn't have a fever, so I asked them. They tested him for COVID too. They just brought me some food. I'm very grateful. This is our room now. The little one over there sleeping. They might move us down to a children's floor, but I guess they don't have any beds right now. So beautiful, clean room. I'm happy with it. Just want to get him feeling better. We're supposed to go home in like 4 days. I know we'll be here for at least 24 hours. Hopefully get him eating, drinking, feeling better, and then fly home. If you're wondering about foreign hospitals, you pretty much just pay up front unless your insurance works with them, which I don't think most do. And then when you go home, you fill out a reimbursement claim. I think right now it's like was $1,000, and then like the room is $1,000, and then I don't know what the other ones are, but that's why I bring my highest credit cards, like the ones that have the biggest limits on them. I'm gonna try to eat because I didn't sleep a lot and I'm kind of like lightheaded. If you're curious, this is hospital food here. So much better. This is outside of the room. I don't know, I'm just vlogging because it helps calm my anxiety, I guess, because I'm kind of like talking through it. They also just brought me a pillow and stuff, although I think I might give him this pillow because the one on the bed is kind of too big for his neck and he didn't like it. We were just moved down to one of the kids' rooms. It's still really nice. Somebody's feeling better. Hugs. Oh. It's a little smaller, but it still has like private bathroom and everything, and he is hopping like a bunny. So I think we're perking up a little bit. My cousin is the best. She just sent over a bag and it has clothes. Oh, I swear I cannot make this up. My cousin got me these clean clothes. Why did the suit just spill all over me? I was all nice and clean and dry, and now, yeah, I do better. You want hugs? Oh, it has been a rough night. He's feeling a little better. And then he woke up kind of like in the middle of the night after they gave him some meds for, it seemed like he had a headache and his fever went up again. He finally fell asleep. It was a little rough. He woke up a little bit ago. It's like 5 a.m. here, and he was kind of like singing and talking, so that made me feel good. I feel like it always gets worse at night, like any type of sickness, you know. I was trying to think of all the things I wanted to tell you. The things that have been most helpful. Well, if you haven't watched our packing video, you can go watch the packing video about all the things that I brought for a emergency kit. I have definitely used all the Dayquil for myself. I still have a couple packs left. Definitely used the Benadryl, because the mosquitoes are wild, okay? Then using my allergy medicine, the ibuprofen, all the things that I've needed for the COVID, and I was using the probiotics for him. They actually gave him some probiotics here in the hospital yesterday. And the Toddler formula, huge, because while we've been in the hospital, he doesn't really want to eat anything besides like a piece of bread. I had brought a bottle with water and then his toddler formula to the hospital, and that's been saving us because he's getting nutrition that way. And of course, like, because it's not anything that needs to be refrigerated, we're good. Other things that I have used at the hospital, definitely brought the converter and the power adapter chargers, because the iPad, totally saving us. Oh, I brought like our air machine that we always sleep with, so that was kind of helpful, just like to create some normalcy. And then he has his little, where is it, his pig. It's like his little stuffy. I almost didn't bring it because he will fall asleep without a stuffed animal, but when we were coming to the hospital, I had just washed it and I was like, okay, this is perfect, let me bring it, because it gives him that little bit of comfort. So I think like the little air machine, the piggy, anything that reminds them of home or a sense of normalcy has been a big help. His change of clothes, because he got sick, car sick when we got here and was throwing up, so he definitely needed new clothes right away. I brought a ton of diapers. I know they say that you can bring or get diapers, whatever, it's just easier to have it. Big one, y'all. So our passports, I forgot them, but I always carry our passport cards, like the driver's license. So when we got in the Uber and we're almost here, I'm like, OMG, I don't have our passports. And I was like, I have our passport cards. So that totally worked. Like when we're in emergency and everything and they're wanting like the passport numbers, I was able to give them the passport cards, and then paid our emergency bill. And then we came up here and there was some other paperwork where they wanted like the passport numbers. So totally came in clutch, get the passport cards and just carry them. Anywho, we'll check in later. Bye. Finally got a little sleep. He's still sleeping. But we basically missed breakfast. They brought it, but it had like hot tea. Oh my gosh, I could have used hot tea, but I needed the sleep more. So I tried to drink cold tea with honey. And there was like a crepe. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best food. And they brought him like a hard-boiled egg and cheese and stuff, which he wouldn't eat anyway, but I just keep saving the bread. I did get him to drink some formula. But anyway, what I wanted to come on here to say is one of the things that has really helped is I downloaded Google Translate before we left, and then I also downloaded the languages so that it would work even if it's offline. So for example, I was trying to use the speak to translate yesterday and it wouldn't work because I guess the internet or whatever, but I was able to type what I wanted to say because everything was downloaded. A lot of the nurses also have apps on their phone, but sometimes that other apps are like not as accurate. So when I was in the store buying something from a lady, her app made no sense. It was like a bunch of gibberish. If you're traveling somewhere, make sure to download the Google Translate app and then download each of the languages that might be common in the areas that you're going to. So that way you have a go-to even if the internet goes offline. Oh my God, I look like how I feel. Same clothes, haven't had a shower. The little baby, I tried to like cover him in a cocoon. He hates the light. I mean, this kid needs blackout curtains, which I don't blame him. I'm the same way. So I just have to make sure he's breathing, because he will like pull the covers all the way over his head or put a pillow over his head. All the things that you're worried about when you start letting them have a blanket or a pillow. He just now at almost 2, we started letting him have the toddler pillow right before we left on the trip, and he loves it. He used to crawl under, he still does crawl under his little mattresses, like pack and play or cradle-wise mattresses, not full-on mattresses. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we buy him a crib, because he always wants to feel like he's in a little cocoon. Just been kind of hanging out. I tried to take him over here and set it up so it felt like a different space. Just so he could feel a little better and like he was going somewhere besides the bed. He was getting upset. So this is me looking dead. And here's our lunch. They sent him some stuff. The dietitian was trying to find things that I said he likes bread, so they tried to put some different things. I think that's barek, and then stuff for me too. I also had them send in a ton of water because I'm getting dehydrated, and I'm trying to make him bottles, but half the time he doesn't want them with the formula. And then thank you God, I found a couple of his pouches. So he actually ate the pouch and one of the bars, and my cousin's trying to send over the rest of his food from the apartment. And then I had brought all of my vitamins and probiotics, so that's definitely helping. That's kind of where we're at right now, trying to get him to eat, get the fever down, get me to eat, survive the next few days, and get home. He's our little patient. I probably should be a patient, but he's not gonna let me go anywhere. I don't want him to freak out, so I'm just gonna take care of myself the best I can. I'm gonna check on my Apple Watch, like my heart rate and all that. I think it's fine. I don't feel hot. I think I just feel crappy from the COVID. So they said I could go down to emergency and get checked, but then it's like, he's not gonna have that. And I don't think they can really tell me anything that I'm not already doing. He doesn't want any of their food. It's amazing. I'm like having a feast because he doesn't want it. I tried. Got a little potatoes on the lip. He was like, oh, how dare you? How dare you, Mom? And it's good. It's good food. I'm telling you, like, it's better than some of the delivery stuff I've been buying. I mean, I'm about to eat it all. I just wish he would, but I guess I still have his pouches, so. Trying to see if I set the food there, if he'll have any interest. Mwah. Mwah. I have the best cousins, and they have the best friends in the whole world who just brought us a bag of our stuff. These are the clothes my cousin sent the other day. So I have clean pants. He has his little toys he's really happy about. They just had to rewrap this. He was not happy. So having the toys is very helpful. And then they also brought the rest of the food that we have left, since he will not eat anything here. So at least I have all these bars. And I only have one more meat pack from home. He had 2 today. Hopefully that is enough until maybe I can get some food delivered right when we get out, like some pouches from over here. The saga continues, y'all. The saga continues. We are finally being released. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I gotta go home and take a shower. It's been days. We just paid, so we are all done with that. It was about $3,400 for 2.5 days in a hospital, which if you're from the US, you know those bills are like $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, $20,000. So we'll get reimbursed when we get back. One of the things that I'm really glad I brought was the document holder, this plastic one that I got at the dollar store, and that was where I had kept like our paperwork in case they needed proof that we were related. I also had a consent for medical treatment form from my boyfriend. We didn't end up needing them, but it was just good that I had them, and that way I'm able to put all the paperwork in there so it doesn't get all wrinkled up or wet or anything. I'm finished packing up in here. We are almost there, and then try to get a car and go. Finally, it was time to head home. I was so exhausted. I don't think there's even words for how exhausted I was. It was 4 a.m. This is about 3 or 4 days later. We have finally made it. You have a security checkpoint when you come in. Then when you go up to your airline, they're checking your passport. Then when you get up to the counter, they check your passport again. Then you drop off your stuff. I had an oversized piece, so we had to take that somewhere else. Then you go through another passport check, and then you go through like passport control where they actually stamp it. Then you go through another security checkpoint, and then you get back here. So it was a lot, and our flight has been delayed, so we are waiting for another 20-30 minutes to find out our gate. And yeah, we're just gonna look around and chill out. The American section. So much shopping here. I know everything here is ridiculously overpriced, but I didn't get to get any souvenirs since we were in the hospital. I could definitely get in trouble here. I love everything, and it's so expensive. After like 3 more passport checks, we're finally in the waiting area.